Welcome back, everybody. These are the movies that we love of 1950. Join us as we celebrate the era of the 1950s. And these are the best movies, the movies we love of 1950. Let's get started. Three Came Home, Drama and War. During World War II, American author Agnes Newton is imprisoned by the Japanese in various POW camps in North Borneo and Sarawak. Three Came Home. This is a wonderful movie. You'll love it. Next up we have is 7-Eleven Ocean Drive, action, crime, and drama. An electronics expert creates a huge bookie broadcast system for his crime boss and takes over operations. 7-Eleven Ocean Drive. Appointment with Danger, crime drama. When ruthlessly dedicated postal inspector investigates the murder of a coworker, he finds that the sole witness, a nun, has been targeted by the killer. The Men, drama. A paralyzed war vet tries to adjust to the world without the use of his limbs. The Men. This is a great movie. Check it out. Next up we have is a wonderful movie called Borderline, crime drama. Two undercover agents infiltrate a drug smuggling ring in Mexico, but neither is aware of the other's identity. Borderline. Born to be Bad, crime and drama. A woman's attempt to appear innocent and sweet clashes with her lover who sees through her act, and with the wealthy man she tries to trick into marrying her. Born Yesterday, comedy, drama, and romance. A tycoon hires a tutor to teach his lover proper etiquette with unexpected results. You'll love Born Yesterday. Broken Arrow, drama, romance, and western. Tom Jeffords tries to make peace between settlers and Apaches in Arizona Territory. Broken Arrow. Next up we have is the film Caged, crime and drama. A gentle, naive, pregnant 19-year-old widow is slowly, inexorably ground down by the hardened criminals, sadistic guards, and matron at a woman's prison. Caged. Cheaper by the Dozen, comedy, drama, and family. Myrna Loy plays the wife of the Perniske father of her 12 children, Clifton Webb, who has uniquely humorous methods for dealing with the ordeals such as unwieldy family matters. Destination Moon. After their latest rocket fails, Dr. Charles Paragraphs and retired General Thayer have to start over again. Adventure, drama, and sci-fi. Father of the Bride, comedy, drama, and romance. The father of a young woman deals with the emotional pain of her getting married, along with the financial and organizational trouble of arranging the wedding. The Flame and the Arrow, adventure, drama, and romance. Dardo, a Robin Hood-like figure, and his loyal followers use a Roman ruin in medieval Lombardy as their headquarters as they conduct an insurgency against their Hessian conquerors. House by the River, crime drama. A deranged writer's murder, a maid after she resists his advances. The writer engages his brother's help in hiding the body. House by the River. Hunt the Man Down, crime and mystery. The suspect is a 12-year-old murder case is finally caught and tried, but the witnesses are a bit hard to track down. Hunt the Man Down. In a Lonely Place, drama and mystery. A potentially violent screenwriter is a murder suspect until his lovely neighbor clears him. In a Lonely Place. Next we have the classic The Jackie Robinson Story, biography, drama, and sport. Biography of Jackie Robinson, the first black Major League Baseball player in the 20th century. You'll love it. The Jackie Robinson Story is a must-watch. Next up we have is Kim, adventure, drama, and family. During the British Raj, the orphan of a British soldier poses as a Hindu and is torn between his loyalty to a Buddhist mystic and aiding the English Secret Service. King Solomon's Mines, action, adventure, and romance. Adventurer Alan Quartermain leads an expedition into uncharted African territory in an attempt to locate and explore who went missing. King Solomon's Mine. Kiss Tomorrow Goodbye. Crime and thriller. Starting with a violent prison break, clever, ruthless Ralph Cotter corrupts everyone around him. Kiss Tomorrow Goodbye is a must-watch. The Maniver Story. Greer Garson and Walter Pidgeon reprise their legendary roles as Mr. and Mrs. Maniver in this lovely, crafted sequel to their Academy Award, Mrs. Maniver. Mrs. O'Malley and Mr. Malone. Comedy, crime, and mystery. A paroled embezzler skips town with his $100,000 loot and boards the Chicago-New York train, followed by an assortment of shady characters. Mrs. O'Malley and Mr. Malone. Night and the City. Crime and mystery. A small-time grifter and nightclub tout takes advantage of some fortuitous circumstances and tries to become a big-time player as a wrestling promoter. Panic in the Streets. Crime and drama. A doctor and a policeman in New Orleans have only 48 hours to locate a killer infected with the pneumonic plague. Panic in the Streets. The Secret Fury. Crime and drama. A woman preparing to marry her fiancé is accused of bigamy by a stranger, but she fights back by trying to prove she's the victim of a conspiracy designed to discredit her. Stage fright. Mystery and thriller. A struggling actress tries to help a friend prove his innocence after he's accused of murdering the husband of a high society entertainer. Next up we have is Stromboli Airlines. No, it's just Stromboli. Karen, a young woman from the Baltic countries, marries fisherman Antonio to escape from a prison camp. Drama. Stromboli. Summer Stock. Musical and romance. A small-town farmer, down on her luck, finds her homestead invaded by a theatrical troupe, invited to stay by her near-to-do-well sister. Summer Stock. The Tattooed Stranger. Crime drama. Early one morning in New York City Park, a passerby walking his dog discovers who ends up being a Jane Doe shot dead in front of them. The Tattooed Stranger. Tea for Two. Comedy, musical, and romance. A socialite with aspirations of a career in show business bets her wealthy uncle $25,000 that she can say no to everything for 2 straight days. The Black Rose. Adventure, history, and romance. A disinherited 13th century Saxon nobleman leaves Norman England with an archer friend to seek his fortune in the Far East. The Asphalt Jungle. Crime and drama. A major heist goes off as planned, but then double crosses and bad luck and solid police work cause everything to unravel. The Breaking Point. Crime and drama. An otherwise moral captain of a charter boat becomes financially strapped and is drawn into illegal activities in order to keep up payments on his boat. The Furies. Drama, romance, and western. A firebrand heiress clashes with her tyrannical father, a cattle rancher who fancies himself as Napoleon. The Furies. The Gunfighter. Drama and western. Notorious gunfighter Jimmy Ringo rides into town to find his true love, who doesn't want to see him. The Gunfighter. The Yellow Cabman. Comedy, drama, and romance. A clumsy, accident-prone taxicab driver who invented the elastic glass risks losing his valuable invention to a group of conmen. The Yellow Cabman. The Man Who Cheated Himself. Crime drama. A veteran homicide detective who has witnessed his socialite girlfriend kill her husband sees his newly minted detective brother assigned to the case alongside him. Three Little Words. Biography, comedy, and musical. The story of the successful Tin Pan Alley songwriting team of Burt Calamar and Harry Ruby is told loosely and lightheartedly. Treasure Island. Adventure and family. The treasure-seeking adventure of young Jim Hawkins and pirate captain Long John Silver. Next up we have is Two Flags West, War and Western. Forced by circumstances, Confederate POWs and Union soldiers joined forces against Indians, but old animosities resurfaced during their fragile alliance. The Underworld Story, crime drama. The story of the fight of a small-town newspaper to free an innocent girl of a murder charge. The Underworld Story. Next up we have is Utopia. Comedy. Stan inherits a yacht on the South Pacific Island. Ollie and Stan sail there with two other men. They shipwreck on a new atoll and settle there. Utopia. Wabash Avenue. Musical. Andy Clark discovers he was cheated out of a half-interest in partner Mike's business, now a thriving dance hall in 1892 Chicago. Where the Sidewalk Ends, crime and drama. Detective Sergeant Mark Dixon wants to be something his old man wasn't, a guy on the right side of the law. Where the Sidewalk Ends. Whirlpool, crime drama. A woman suffering from kleptomania is hypnotized in an attempt to cure her. Whirlpool. Women on the Run, crime and drama. Frank Johnson becomes an eyewitness to a murder. He's pursued around San Francisco by his wife, the police, and the killer. The Young Man with the Horn. Biography, drama, music. A young trumpet player is torn between an honest singer and a manipulative heiress. Three Came Home. Drama and war. During World War II, American author Agnes Newton Keith is imprisoned by the Japanese in various POW camps in North Borneo and Sarawak. Harriet Craig. Drama. Harriet Craig enjoys married life but constantly tries to control those around her. She does not trust her husband Walter. She's always checking up on him. Bright Leaf. Drama and romance. In 1894, Brant Royal shocks the aristocratic tobacco growers of Kingsmont by planning to mass-produce cigarettes. Bright Leaf. A Woman of Distinction. Ice-cold college dean Susan Middlecock feels there's no room in her life for romance. Comedy. A Woman of Distinction. Next up we have is the classic All About Eve drama. A seemingly timid but secretly ruthless and genuine insinuates herself into the lives of an aging Broadway star and her circle of theater friends. Annie Get Your Gun. Comedy, musical, and romance. The story of the great sharpshooter Annie Oakley, who rose to fame while dealing with her loved professional rival Frank Butler. Next up we have is At War with the Army. Comedy, musical, and war. Alvin Corwin is low man on the totem pole and goes from one mishap to another at an army training camp in World War II. Blues Busters. Comedy. After he undergoes a throat operation, Slip and the gang discover that Satch now possesses a beautiful singing voice and try to figure out how to make money off of it. Next up we have is Cinderella, animation, family, and fantasy. When Cinderella's cruel stepmother prevents her from attending the royal ball, she gets some unexpected help from the lovable Mice Gus and Jack from her fairy godmother. Colt 45, Western. Gun salesman Steve Farrell gets two of his new Colt 45 pistols stolen from him by ruthless killer Jason Brett. Colt 45. Convicted, action, crime, and drama. A DA becomes the prison warden where he tries to help an inmate he prosecuted because he believes his sentence was excessive. Convicted. Next up we have is Crisis, crime, drama, and romance. While on vacation in Latin American country, an American neurosurgeon and his wife become tangled in a revolutionary uprising against a tyrannical dictator. Dallas, drama and western. A former Confederate officer hunting for an outlaw who wronged him finds him in Dallas, but now as a wealthy, respectable citizen. The Damned Don't Cry, crime drama. A New York socialite climbs the ladder of success, man by man, until a life among rich gangsters gives her what she thought she always wanted. Dial 1119. An escaped psychiatric patient causes havoc. Thriller and mystery. Dial 1119. Fancy Pants. Comedy, musical, and western. An American actor impersonating an English butler is hired by a woman from New Mexico to refine her husband and headstrong daughter. Fancy Pants. Father is a Bachelor. Adventure, comedy, and family. William Holden plays a drifter who comes to a small town and discovers a cabin in the forest where 5 kids. Abbott and Costello in the Foreign Legion. Adventure and comedy. 2 Brooklyn wrestling promoters go to the French Algeria in search of famous Algerian wrestler, but accidentally end up in the French Foreign Legion. The Flowers of St. Francis. Biography, comedy, and drama. A series of vignettes depicting the lives of the original Franciscan monks, including their leader and the bumbling Ginepro. Fortunes of Captain Blood. Action, adventure, and romance. When some of his crew are captured by the Spaniards in Rio de la Hacha, pirate Captain Peter Blood enters the city in disguise in order to free his men. Frenchie. Drama and western. Frenchie Fontaine sells her successful business in New Orleans to come west. Frenchie. Next up we have is Harvey. Comedy, drama, and fantasy. Due to his insistence that he has an invisible 6-foot-tall rabbit for a best friend, a whimsical middle-aged man is thought by his family to be insane. Harvey. House by the River. Crime and drama. A deranged writer's murders a maid after she resists his advances. The writer engages his brother's help in hiding the body. House by the River. The Hurricane at Pilgrim Hill. Drama. An elderly man leaves Wyoming to visit his daughter in small Massachusetts town because even though she didn't say so, he believes she needs his help. Indian Territory. Drama, music, and western. After leaving the Confederate cavalry, Gene becomes an undercover man in the Union Army. Next up we have is Key to the City. Comedy and romance. 2 mayors meet at a convention and, despite their contrasting personalities and views, find themselves attracted to one another. Key to the City. La Ronde. Drama and romance. Soldiers, chambermaids, poets, prostitutes, aristocrats are all on equal footing in this multi-character merry-go-round of love and infidelity. La Ronde. Variety Lights. Drama, music, and romance. A beautiful, ambitious young woman joins a traveling troupe of third-rate vaudevillians and inadvertently causes jealousy and emotional crisis. Next up we have is Lucky Losers. Action, comedy, adventure. To solve the death of a friend, the boys go to gambling school, then go undercover as croupiers in an illegal gambling house. Lucky Losers. Montana. Drama and western. An Australian sheepman comes to Montana looking for grazing space and is opposed by local ranchers and a wealthy cattlewoman. Bitter Rice. Crime and drama. 2 criminals on the run end up working in a rice field and decide to recruit other workers for their next robbery. My Friend Irma Goes West. Comedy, crime, and musical. En route to Hollywood, singer Steve, his partner Seymour, and fiancée Jane, Jane's airheaded roommate Irma, and Irma's con artist fiance, Al, have a series of misadventures and end up west. Never a dull moment. Sophisticated, successful New York songwriter Kay falls in love with Chris Hayward. Comedy, romance, and western. No Way Out. Crime, drama. Two hoodlums, brothers, are shot and wounded during an attempted robbery. They are taken to a nearby hospital where one brother dies. No Way Out. Pagan love song. Musical and romance. A man from Ohio inherits a coconut plantation and falls in love with a half-American, half-Tahitian beauty. Musical, romance, pagan love song. Panic in the Streets. A doctor and a policeman in New Orleans have only 48 hours to locate a killer infected with pneumonic plague. Panic in the Streets. Buccaneers Girl. Action, adventure, and romance. A New Orleans entertainer falls for a pirate who has another identity. Buccaneers Girl. Next up, we have the classic To Please a Lady. Action, romance, and sport. A former war hero and midget car racer meets his match in a feisty reporter who blames his reckless tactics for an accidental racing death. Rogues of Sherwood Forest. Adventure and drama. When King John imposes oppressive taxes and cruel treatment upon the local population, the son of legendary bandit Robin Hood reforms his father's merry men. The Big Lift. Experiences of two Air Force sergeants during the 1948 Berlin airlift. Next up we have is The Nevadan. A mysterious stranger crosses paths with an outlaw bank robber and a greedy rancher. This is a western. It's a very good movie. Check out The Nevadan. Quicksand, crime and drama. After taking $20 from his employer to go on a date with plans to repay it the next day, an auto mechanic falls into increasingly disastrous circumstances for more and more money. Quicksand. Rocky Mountain. In California during the Civil War, a Confederate patrol and Union troop must set their differences aside in order to survive a Shoshone attack. South Sea Sinner. On a South Sea island, a local hoodlum tries to blackmail a tramp steamer's sick crewman who's wanted for wartime collaboration with the Japanese. South Sea Sinner. Stage fright. A struggling actress tries to help a friend prove his innocence after he's accused of murdering the husband of a high society entertainer. Stage fright. Mystery and thriller. Stars in My Crown. Family and western. In 1865, the small southern town of Walsburg has become so dangerous that Parson gives his sermons while holding a gun. Stars in My Crown. Story of a love affair. Crime, drama, and romance. Paola is a young, beautiful woman married to a wealthy entrepreneur. She meets her former lover, Guido, after 7 years, but the relationship is rocky. Sunset Boulevard is a classic. A screenwriter develops a dangerous relationship with a faded film star, determining to make triumphant return. Crime, drama. Sunset Boulevard. The Glass Menagerie, drama. Merchant Marine Officer Tom Wingfield reminisces about his life in St. Louis, where he had lived with his nagging mother Amanda and crippled shy sister Laura. The Desert Hawk, action, adventure, and romance. A desert gorilla with flashing skin motor opposes a tyrannical prince and marries the caliph's daughter. The Desert Hawk. The West Point Story, comedy and music. A Broadway director helps the West Point cadets put on a show, aided by two lovely ladies and assorted complications. The West Point Story. The Toast of New Orleans, musical. A snooty opera singer meets a rough and tumble fisherman in the Louisiana bayous, but this fisherman can sing. The Toast of New Orleans. Union Station. A sharp-eyed woman spots a man with a gun on a train, and her alert to the railroad police help them in search for a ruthless gang who have kidnapped a blind heiress. Union Station. Whirlpool. A woman suffering from kleptomania is hypnotized in an attempt to cure her. Soon afterwards, she's found at the scene of a murder with no memory of how she got there. Winchester 73. A cowboy's obsession with a stolen rifle leads to a bullet-ridden odyssey through the American West. Winchester 73. Action, drama, and western. Those are the movies that we loved of 1950. What movies do you remember from 1950? There were a lot of great movies of that year. Oscar winners of that year, 1950, is a brand new decade. A lot of Technicolor, a lot of color movies are coming out now. And a lot of musicals, westerns are coming out, a lot of crime and drama. You still had the Bowery Boys chugging away in the early 50s. And Bud Abbott, Lou Costello, and some Stan Laurel and Hardy. So what do you think about the movies of 1950? Are there any movies that I possibly left out? Obviously, it's not all-inclusive, but I try to capture the best movies that we loved of 1950. I'm Tony. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.